morning, Candid Culture. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, queens and kings. Thank y'all for joining us.
Girl, there
I
was
don't
a
know.
delay. I was like, oh
I guess
no.
we'll just get into it.
Yes, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm gonna put it up here, but y'all, I don't know if y'all have been seeing all the lives. I missed Dante's live. I missed no, we're missing Dante's live right now, but then Frank was earlier. I've had some house issues, but and then Misha, I'm just glad to be here with Miss Misha again. So let's get into it.
But
Misha, are you okay? There you are. You are on a bit of a delay. You want to come out and come back in? Go out and come back in? Yep, there you are.
yeah, hold on.
There, you're good now. Don't do it. You're
Am
good
I
now.
good?
You're good. I don't know what you just did,
Are you
what
sure?
adjustment that was, but you did it. Stop. Okay,
Okay.
y'all, let's get going. This is part two. This is the last supper. This is the end of the show. But Ready to Love ain't giving us no breaks. The 28th starts a new season. So, yes, let's go.
Right.
Oops, hold on. There we are. So, so talk to me about the Naeem of it all with this the fish lips. Like, talk to us about this. Hey, Harlem.
Listen, I think Naeem, he had a lot of dip on his chip in the first part, and you saw the second part.
Wait,
The dip kind of slid off the chip because the host was like, well, do you think like you were just picking Naeem at a default, or like you said that Dante was your choice? You were going to choose Dante, and they showed that clip, and he had to sit there and watch that clip. And she was like, well, no, like she tried to backtrack, like her and Naeem have always been there and blah blah blah. So I think Naeem he started to feel that and see that, but I don't know if we should talk about it now because I did watch Little Black Book's interview with Walter, and he had a different version of this whole Zadia and Sydney almost getting into a fight. Because a lot of people told their versions of the story, but Walter was the only one that included that Phil, this is a season of picking people up. I call them professional movers at this point, the way they are always having to pick somebody up. But Phil had to pick up Zadia. He just got to lift everyone up. He had to pick up Zadia, and
but do
he
you
had a
remember
problem.
Walter
Uh-huh.
said he had to stop her first, and Walter had to have a convo with Naeem
I
right
think that
here.
was after, though. I think he did the whole she did the whole chest hands on the chest thing after Phil, because I think she kept coming and returning back trying to fight, but Walter had an issue with the fact that Naeem was fighting with the girls. He was trying to earn his peach. And so Naeem responded the reason he didn't pick her up and remove her from the situation because he wanted her to fight.
Yep.
And I was like, what?
Yes.
The
And
toxicness of it all.
you
Hmm.
saw LBB's face, you saw my face. You didn't see my face because I was moderating and I was like, what?
Look,
This
listen, Kojo looked like a concerned parent that
yes.
whole interview.
Listen, the whole 4 hours and 47 minutes I was there. That I look, I had, and we have another moderator. She said, I went and had lunch and came back, and we still here. What is happening? But it was so interesting because, yeah, that rooftop thing,
Mm.
there was just so much mess going on this season, a lot of backbiting, a lot of cattiness. It really seems like just female cattiness that is just so frustrating me as a black woman and Misha too. It's just like, why why is this so frustrating? Why are you guys
Mm.
acting like this to be adults? So yeah, you got to see the whole thing, Deborah. You got to see the whole thing because and that's what I'm saying. His description of it, he gave specific details that Phil came in to the rescue, but then Walter had pulled her back and stopped her and like did this, and he had this look on her face. on his face, and she just kind of calmed down, and she just kind of just like relaxed her shoulders, but she was about to look if you buck, like she was about to go at it, and I was like, it's not that. Come on, ladies, come on.
Walter was itching to tell that story.
Well, no, there was a couple things Walter was itching to do because, as you know, LBB was like, yeah, like we're 2.5, 3 hours in. We, let's go to, let's wrap it up, and or let's end the show. And he said, let's talk about this too. I just want to get it all out. And I said, this
He's
is
like, if you want me to, he was walking that horse for about a good 5 minutes. If you want me to, I can tell it. I can tell my side. If you want to know what happened, I can. Do you want me to tell it? All right. Little Black Book's like, boy, I didn't miss breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let me go eat.
he was like, let's okay, well, I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen because here's the thing. We'll talk about Walter in a minute, but
Mhm.
um Zadia was like, can we talk about my connection? Can we talk about our connection? Because we did make one. Like she was like, she really, and it's so interesting that you really wanted the spotlight on you,
Mhm.
and I hear that you have a brand and you have a workout gear that you're trying to promote. And remember, we talked about this during previously in the shows. Like she was always during deliberation, she showed a dress or she had on different outfits. But when it was going on dates, she had on her workout gear. So if that is the brand that you're trying to promote, that's fine. But it just seemed like you really wanted the camera on you. You really wanted to. That was your goal. That was your goal to get that spotlight. And
It,
sometimes you want 5 minutes.
yeah.
Sometimes 5 minutes is not going to turn into 15. Like, but yeah, that's it for
I
me.
agree. And it's like if that's the type of fame you're looking for, you need to go on Love and Hip Hop or Basketball Wives or something. Like you're not gonna that's what I don't get when people come on Ready to Love or put a ring on it trying to get attention like that. Like this isn't the type of network for that. And yeah, I just think I agree with Sabrina. She is just nasty. She is mean. Because why? Like, you are not the host. Who are you to dictate what topic we go to next and what we need to talk about? So it was,
Right.
yeah.
Or like even during your deliberations, I am not surprised that they were sometimes they would be like, well, during deliberations, I'm sitting next to Tommy and stuff like that. Really? Is it? Come on. Yeah. Okay. We'll sit next to him then.
Ridiculous.
That's not how cameras move. You know that, right? The camera's gonna pick you up whether you're sitting next to him or not. So the camera wants to pick up, and it's so funny. I saw Sydney's thing, and she said, I'm gonna do pros and cons." She said, Camille's face, because we are in that deliberation for hours. These facial expressions was great. Like it made her laugh. So that was a good thing. But sometimes I wonder if people recognize the catty behavior. I wonder as women, you don't recognize it when you're going through it, but you got to see that, am I staying right? Are we acting right? Yeah. Go ahead. I got to put that back up for a second. That was so funny.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so Walter, what do you think about Walter's whole Sabrina has my number. She could have called me or we were calling or she didn't his exact words were she didn't tell me there was a problem or anything. She didn't have to blindside me. She could have just told me and we could have really worked things out. What do you what do you think
So
about
y'all, the
that?
reason why we're a little late is because we were talking about Mr. Walter. The reason we're coming into this chat. Yeah, so
Child.
here's the thing. Um, Walter. And okay, Walter, you still, if you're interested in somebody, you still make that extra effort. And I did
Mhm.
hear you saying that, like, I was busy. I was not only, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm also training a boxer. I'm also on this show. I'm also doing these things. he said that on LBB show, he said that they changed the production, changed the schedule for him because of all those things. If you wanted, listen, you also told on yourself about you having a friend that needed maintenance. If you were able to answer that phone call, then why weren't you able to call Sabrina a little bit more
Mhm.
often, text her a little bit more often? To me, I think it was important if you knew, especially, and see, here's the thing. He even went back on that and he said, especially going through what she was going through with her mother and her father, I think I could have reached out more. So even if you assumed that you and her were good, all of those little things, those extra efforts, that makes a difference, especially when we're going through things,
Mhm.
you know. So you could have reached out more. You could have shown that you were shown and proved that interest. So
Yeah.
yeah, um I just think that you could have done more. I still think that you could have done more. I just think, okay, you know, and I think that there was a lot of assumption on your part. There was a lot of assumption that we were good because, we said this a couple weeks ago. I said, when after the date with the aunt and the sister, he said I didn't speak to her for 48 hours, and that's when and 48 hours
Mhm.
later is the bridge thing. Why didn't you follow up after the date with the aunt and the sister?
Right.
Why didn't you just say, "Hey,
Mhm.
it was thank you for coming in and meeting my aunt and my sister. They really liked you. I can't really talk too long, but I'm going into training camp, whatever. But I really wanted to just touch base with you. Something you could have done that. Go ahead.
Mhm.
There was more. Please.
I agree.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, please, y'all, shout out to Kojo and Little Black Book 91. Please go back when you got time to kill, like, or you might have to just watch it in spurts. But
When you
that
cleaning the house, when you doing some
it's
spring cleaning,
excellent interview. It's an excellent interview, and
when
he
you
does.
waited urgent care for 4 hours.
That's it. When you're waiting in urgent care, please go back
But
and
I
watch it.
was
Yes, go ahead.
I know the right thing. I know we say to date properly, you have to date multiple people. And I agree. I agree with that. But at the same time, you have to understand that when you're dating multiple people, it does affect how you're spending time with the other person, how you're viewing them, what position you're putting them in. Mumin and Sabrina both said they felt like they were number two
So,
because another lady was getting maintenance, and that
right,
does affect you. I don't under I used to be one of those people, oh, we just cool for right now. I'm just, we can be friends with benefits. There's no feelings involved. It doesn't affect me. It does affect you.
right.
So I think, and it's different. It's different to date multiple people with no sex. But when you're dating multiple people and you're involving sex, that does change the connection between the people that you're dating.
And he doesn't
So,
understand that. And it's so funny you guys are saying this because I was putting this on in the chat. I said I need to have him on the men's panel because he really did not understand what
mhm.
they were saying. And so to me, when he said that, I was like, this totally negates everything you said previously. It's like you're trying to make these connections with these people and you're telling somebody that you choose them, but then you're having relations, you're having no, I'm sorry, maintenance with another woman off the show. And here's the thing, it's not, and he said specifically, I'm not going to go without sex for 2 months. I'm like, am I crazy? Is that 60 days, right? That's not even an extensive amount of time. Like he said,
So
and he
what
said, I'm not going to do it. So Misha, you didn't see it, but it was crazy how he was like, I'm not going to do that. So she said she needed her maintenance. I needed my maintenance, right? Okay. But and I remember, what was it, Vernisha last season? She did a live and she said, a lot of people were getting on us about having sex, but we're grown, we're adults. They're on with the castmates on the show. And we in the chat, we were saying, listen, it's one thing if you do it with your castmates. It's still, I don't think that's a good idea either. But
Mhm.
that's a part of you making that connection with the people on the show. But you
Right.
having an additional person outside of the show, outside of the realm of this connection, that is hindering your process
Mhm.
on the show. So here's the thing: even if it's okay for you to separate the two and say you can make a spiritual, intimate, emotional connection with one person and just have maintenance with another person. What if Sabrina and Mumin don't agree with that? What if the people that you're trying to make the connection with don't understand that and don't agree with that? You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
I get it, but that's not any of their business. I think you kind of sign up for that when you pick the person that you're dating. You should understand you're not exclusive. That person does have the option to sleep with someone else or to date whomever. But I think that's where you have to pick right. If you are not okay with that, you don't pick someone who has sex comedy shows. And and
Well,
this I'm just
and I hear what you're saying, but even so, when they found out, that does affect what the ladies are think of him. You know what I'm saying?
right, it
So
does.
yeah, so if they didn't find out, like you said, that's his business. But when they find out,
But
then
it does. But still, you're right. It does affect the women. Like it would affect me if I found that out. But at this, it's like you can't be mad, but you can be mad because your feelings are involved. But at the same time, you can't. I don't feel that it's right to hold that against a person when you're not in a relationship.
I hear what you're saying, but you're so in the show, you're supposed to be growing towards a relation. How is he? And
Right.
I hear what you're saying that how that's not going to that shouldn't hinder his process or what he thinks of the lady, right? Whoever it is.
Mhm.
But if she finds that out, that she's gonna be thinking the same thing.
Right.
I'm thinking like, but how is he sleeping with her? We're making a connection with me. And
Right.
even if he can say 6 ways to Sunday, no, I can separate the two. It's still like you just said, it's still gonna hurt. It's still gonna
Right.
affect you. Like you don't understand it, but it still affects me. It still hurts me that you're trying to make a connection with me, trying to grow in an emotional relationship with me, but sleeping with somebody else that was an ex as well. That was somebody
Mhm.
that
That
you
you no longer and that you've had a deeper connection with.
there you can see exactly. And even though they've broken up, who's to say that now that you're back to sleeping with this girl, that whatever connection with me that you just started with me, you can leave me and go back to her. Like
Right.
that's that trust factor.
So I want to ask you this. He seemed very closed off, like he didn't understand how he wasn't reaching out. It didn't seem like he was into nobody. Like there was no one that like he lit up for or was breaking his neck when they walked in the room. So do you think that he is just hard to make a connection with in general, or this ex was like kind of mentally pulling him away from the process? What do you think?
No, I think that he is somebody that like I in here's the thing. I think that to me, it really sounded like his wife that passed away was that true connection for him. So after that, and then he had met somebody else, and she wasn't that didn't last, right? So to me, then he started going out and being the Walter of it all. And now I think that there's a wall up. I think that he's not truly making a connection with anyone. I think that, and he may not know it. He may think that he is opening himself up. You understand what I'm saying? He may not,
Yeah,
or he may think that he is being open and being transparent, but there is a wall up there that only there's that he doesn't who knows can break down That and there's something about prolonged grief. There's something about just there. I just don't see, after like 10 to 15 years of you traveling the world and being on, whatever you just say, sex comedy shows and doing your thing, who's going to break down that barrier? Who's going to break down that wall?
Mm.
I just don't see it yet. I don't. I hear what you're saying, but I also agree with you. And that's what my thing is with the girl that he's sleeping with. So that's why I told you that when before the show. I was like, come on. You cannot open yourself up to these girls and still be getting maintenance from somebody else. That's another barrier. Although he doesn't understand it. Because I know, because I spent about 45 minutes to an hour trying to get it through his head that no, don't you see that this is why it would not have worked? And it sure wouldn't have worked with Mumin. Like, what? You're not somebody that wants to last 2 months without sex.
Why were you trying to go through the process with her
There's
knowing
no,
you can't wait 2 months
he literally said,
without
I'm
your
not going to
maintenance?
go 2 months without sex. So you're sure not going to go however long it's going to take to break down those walls with Mumin, who is abstaining. Like, that's just silly to me. Like, and I was like,
Why
come on.
was he on the show? Like it just don't make sense to me.
Yes, it didn't.
Why was he on the show?
Yeah. So Tia said, "Hey Tia, first of all, until you are exclusive, there should be a don't ask, don't
I
tell
agree.
policy regarding sex and other people." I don't negate that. I
I
agree with that. But
agree.
then one of these ladies finds out, Sabrina finds out, and she's like, "Whoa, that kind of probably made her take a step back." You can say, I agree with the don't ask, don't tell, but these DC streets, apparently everybody knows everybody. So yeah.
I I had I dated someone and we were dating, we weren't exclusive, and he felt like he needed to be honest with me and open with me, and he would tell me if he if he slept with another girl, if he was dating other women, and I immediately did not want to date him anymore because I was like, this is I feel like we just friends now, because why are you, because that's what you do with your friends. Like, oh, I met so and so, blah blah, this happened. I don't want to know all that. Don't
Well,
like.
and to
I
me,
get what you're saying about being caught off guard, but at the same time, I
wait,
think you just to when you
wait a minute.
understand dating and the process of dating.
I
Are you
said
okay?
I said being caught off guard.
We said being like caught off guard when you don't know. Like if someone, like let's say if I thought you said something like you don't want Sabrina. I thought you mentioned Sabrina being caught off guard by knowing or finding out that he's sleeping with someone.
Oh yes, she
So
didn't
that's what I'm
know.
saying
Yeah,
about being
somebody
caught
told
off
her. Okay,
guard.
she was caught off guard. I thought you meant like
Yeah.
her being caught off guard. No, okay.
No,
Go ahead.
her. That's what I mean. Like, I understand, like, you're taking a chance of being caught off guard because you don't know. And there's some people that want to know. They want to know how many people are you dating, and I don't necessarily want to know that.
I hear you. No, I wouldn't want to know either. And it sounds like somebody told her and that she didn't ask for the
Right.
information. But at the same time, so now I know this information. Now, how am I going to
What
move
is,
in this information? Are you going to ask him?
mhm.
And so now, excuse me, he's not even looking at it as dating. He's looking at it as maintenance. Do you understand my point? Like
Mm. But
he
does he know how to differentiate? That's my question. Do you understand that the ex is just maintenance and you're really trying to make a connection with the other two girls, or do you see the other two girls as possible maintenance in the future? So it seemed like he was just with the ex for maintenance for right now until I get to the level of maintenance with Mumin and Sabrina. So I don't know if he really had the right intentions coming on the show in his connections. Because if you have in your head, I can't go another 2 months without sex, then I don't know. I
And
don't
he's
know.
not, so both. Like, yeah, he's looking at and I think that in his head, he's differentiating the two. He's looking at
Mhm.
Ramin and Sabrina as building a connection, a relationship, an emotional um relationship and sex later. He's looking at this girl as an ex, but I no, I think it's warped. I don't I'm not saying that I agree with him, but I am saying that that's in his head, he was not getting what
He was not.
they were saying. And in his head, that this was an ex that she just wanted, she just wanted to sleep together or have sex, and that was it. And we were like, how that's messing up the process. So you're sleeping with this girl, but you're also building an emotional connect. So that is a barrier to that emotional connection with the other two ladies. How can you sleep
Right.
with one person and then build an emotional connection to two other people? And he just was not
Mhm.
understanding, and that was a man. They spent so long on just that piece. There was more, but
Mhm.
it was so interesting. So now going back to, okay, now we're on this one.
You can go. You can finish your thought. Go ahead.
So now how are you building a connection? So to answer your question, I think it's twofold. I definitely think that when he got to talking about his ex-wife and her passing, he was very clear. Like you could tell that his discussing things with her about her was clear, and he really felt something for her, right? But then anyone after that, there was this person and then this person, and I wanted to travel the world, and I really wanted to get into comedy. I really wanted to do it in these this, that, and the other. So I think there is an emotional barrier when it comes to other making other connections. I think Walter dates the way a lot of other people date today, but they don't often admit that. No, that's what he said, that they don't often admit that is how they move. And he even said that. He said, when you're dating, he said it. He said it, Dakota, when you're dating, you can have somebody that you're sleeping with, but you're still building a connection with somebody else. I agree with you, though, Misha. If somebody were to tell me that, I would be like, wait a minute, but how are you connecting with me and hanging out with me? And we're, spending time together, having dinner, like we're talking about life and goals and intimate things, and you leave here and you sleep with somebody else. Like it just, so yeah. Hmm.
I agree, girl. I don't
So
ask,
let's go
don't
to Mr.
tell.
Corey. I want you to start because I want you to tell me what you thought about the tears. I want to know what you actually thought while I plug in my phone.
I was just like, yeah, no. I felt like Mumin and Courtney when they were sitting there, like, yeah, no, I still feel the exact same way as I did before because you can't, you can't justify the tears and say that, oh, well, I meant well. No, but you're still hurting other people. Like, you can't say, like, I don't understand that. Like, who made you superintendent of the Make People Feel Special committee? Like, who told you you need to, every woman that you say hello to, you need to go out of your way to make them feel special? It seems fake. Like it doesn't even seem genuine because you don't even know that person, and you think it's within your responsibility to make someone feel special. And no, like, did your mother and father, did they do, was your daddy copy and pasting? Because you talking about you want to get to where your mom and dad were, was that what they were doing? Like, because it doesn't make sense. I think the tears, I don't want to say they're fake because obviously they're coming from somewhere, but I just didn't feel like it was called for. Maybe I think there were tears of being felt like he was being misunderstood. And I think he just doesn't want to be held accountable for how he's making women feel. Your action is making women feel played. You're like, that's the bottom line of it. And to say, well, no, that's not what I meant, or that's, but no, but you're lying to these women. You're telling them the same thing, introducing everybody to your mother. Like, no, that's not okay. So I don't think the tears justify anything. Yeah, I don't know. I was just sitting there like, what? Oh, okay.
Sorry, y'all. I was having mouse control issues. So when it first happened, I was like, what is going on? Is this real? Like, I literally, and y'all know my facial expression. I was like, what is he crying? And I said,
Mhm.
you this is bad acting. And you could see, and I actually like, a lot of people were saying that they didn't like how they had people in the back, people the backstage, they had cast members backstage, cast members on the stage. But I actually liked that. And and I don't remember, was it Libba? I don't remember who said he's just a bad actor, right? But at the same time,
Mhm.
one, I have to say, shout out to Courtney, because I agree with her. Just because even if he was feeling something at that time, even if he was feeling something at that time, that doesn't mean that she should change how she felt about the situation. Even if,
Exactly.
even if his
Mhm.
fears were real, that doesn't negate how you made Courtney and Mumin feel.
Right.
So that doesn't mean that they need to change their feelings on how on your apology or accepting that this is
Mhm.
just you. I do think, and it's so funny because I was actually in Sean's live last night, and a couple people were like, they think that there is something a little off about him, and that he just doesn't like it's. And I'm not gonna say, because well, I have a nephew that has Asperger's, and they were saying
Oh
that
my.
they were saying that he just doesn't understand social cues. And I said, this is so
Mm.
interesting, guys, that so I
Okay.
think the effort is there, like him wanting to go that extra mile, because the truth be told, and because I'm still in the place where I don't necessarily believe this, but you guys think about it. The truth be told, the notes are cute. The flowers, putting little notes on each rose is cute, but you can't. But did he not understand to not do it in front of everybody, or just do it when you have that special connection with somebody? Not, but the way he did it is the issue, and this copy and paste attitude of yours is the issue. The actual going the extra effort, and a man going taking those extra mile, that's fine. And he even said, I don't know why I do these things. Or what did he say when he cried? Because I literally just watched it over again, and I'm
He had
now
a Tyrese moment. Like, what more do you want from me?
right.
That's what he reminded
What more do you want from me? Like, I'm doing everything. And he says that he's had exes say you do too much, you do too much. And I don't necessarily know is that you do too much. It's just the way you're going about it. Like,
You're not genuine about it.
it
That's what
doesn't
makes it
sound
come off as
genuine
too
when you
much.
do it for everybody. You know what I'm saying? How are you making
Mhm.
that genuine connection with that one person when you're doing it for everybody? And there,
Mhm.
there are certain people that they are really good people, and so that's why I think that when he kept crying, like people like Sabrina, who is very smart and very knows and very good at reading people, she was like, I think Corey has been misunderstood, and Corey is a very genuine person, right? Because I do think that there is something, because listen, his parents married, what, 35 years, but he's not there yet, right? What is it? What is the break that people are like, yeah, what is the break? You understand what I'm saying? So I don't
I
know.
can't agree with that statement because of Mumin's example that when she approached him about him doing the stickers and notes, he deflected and he wouldn't
Mhm.
give her a direct answer. And so, right then and there, if you have to do that, you're not being honest. So you're not being genuine. So to say he's misunderstood, I I
I
can't
want
100% back that, like that narrative with him, because if you have to cover up things and deflect and use this tone and try to get people not to like, because what did he say to her? I think he said something like, well, let's just focus on the process. Let's just focus on me and you, and let's just do it. When you're doing all that, it's not genuine. So I can't back that he's just so misunderstood. No, you need to be accountable. It's kind of like using the word trigger. I feel like some people throw that word
Misha,
triggered around. Huh?
your sound's gone out. Your sound is going out.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-mm.
Really? Hold
Yeah,
on.
we can hear you, but you sound like you're underwater.
Can you hear me now?
A little, say something else?
Hello? That's
No,
weird.
you sound like you're underwater. Okay.
Child.
Okay, wait.
Okay,
No, you do sound, you still like sound like you're underwater. Maybe, oh, I hate for you to go back out and come back in.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So I'm gonna put up. So I don't know, Miss Creative, if you were in Sean's, first of all, I love the new profile picture. But if you were in Sean's uh show last night, and they were saying that it might be something, it might be just some disconnect with social cues or how he's conducting himself. So I do appreciate what you just said. Elon Musk is Musk is autistic, so that means nothing. Um, that's just a rich man, though. I don't think Corey's autistic. He's just acting. I just don't know that he knows when to stop. You understand what I'm saying? That there are some people that know that this is the right thing to do, but don't know how to conduct themselves. So I don't know. I'm just like, why is he acting like this? You don't have to. And I think that, I mean, he's a handsome guy. He's not a bad looking guy. So he can catch them, but it's the keeping them that he has an issue with. So it's just so interesting. Hold on, let's see. Misha's back. Hold on. Shalom, say something.
Hello.
There you are.
Okay.
Yes. It was like the sounds off a little. So yeah. So and I do hear what you're saying, the creative that 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 kind of means nothing. I hear what you're saying that when he, the extra little extra things are cute, but you shouldn't be doing them to everybody. So I do hear what you guys are saying. And the deflecting. I feel like there was something cut when Courtney let him go that as well. And I forget in her interview that she just said he just kept deflecting, or he was lying, or it it just went left. It just went all the way left, and he was just doing too much just to take the heat off of him. So yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Mhm.
I hear what you're saying. I just wish he would just, the cute. I mean, the stuff is cute ideas, but not to everybody. It just sounds disingenuous when you do it to everybody. So I hear you.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Well, we already talked about Serena, but
Hmm.
I don't know if you have anything to say about that.
Um, Miss Serena just looked beautiful as always. She
Yes.
conducted herself
Yes.
just beautifully, just very intelligent. I just appreciated what she said to the Zadia of it all. I appreciated that. Again, she said about Corey that he is genuine. I just don't think that he's doing it the right way. You understand what I'm saying? I like the extra effort. Women, we love extra effort, but it's how you do that extra effort that you need help with. So,
I think people know when you're not being genuine to yourself. So when everything you're doing is written out of like some junior high school movie of like it, like everything he does seems like it's out of a movie or like I'm supposed to give her flowers because that's someone told me that's romantic or that's what girls like. But not every girl likes flowers. Like not every girl likes lovey-dovey stuff. So I think when you're going out of your way to do these things, I think it's also important to pay attention to what
Okay.
they actually like too.
I will give you that. That sometimes it's important. Well, that it's important to find out about them. Don't just copy and paste. Oh, well, this girl likes this. So women like flowers in general. So I'm
Mhm.
going to give every woman flowers. That's true. I did like the fact that the notes on the flowers is what I was more paying attention to. You know, every woman likes roses. I'm just going to do that. No, it's not that. It's that
Mhm.
extra effort that he put into it. But I hear what you're saying. Don't this copy and paste thing was off. So go ahead.
Mhm.
Start with Miss Serena, and I gotta get my charger because I'm going down.
Okay. I don't have nothing for Sabrina because basically she did the whole we just had her and Walter and then her speaking on Corey. But we have Courtney. I'm gonna say it again because I'm gonna stick by my thoughts on this. I feel like Cornelius led Courtney on. I feel like he really dangled the carrot in front of her with this whole we can have accidents or slip ups, but I want to abstain, but this and that could happen. So I felt like he led her on in a sense. I do felt like she might have got a bad rap. I know people can't put words in your mouth because people want to like rely on editing as an excuse, but I do feel like they had a narrative with her. And as we've seen on a lot of these after party interviews, lives after the reunion, Cornelius seems like he has a side to him that he's not necessarily being genuine about. We'll get to the lives at the end of the review, but I just felt like she did get a bad rap. We really didn't get to know her that much, but those are my thoughts on Courtney.
I agree with
So,
you. I actually think that we did not get to know her enough. I think that there is more to her. Um, but I also feel like this show doesn't take the time to get to know the
mhm.
um the cast. You know, they want to talk about love. They want to just, it's kind of sensationalism, as you guys know. Same thing with Libba. Like she has, she's a cancer survivor, all of these things. I really like when they, just see, we want to see more than just the sensationalism stuff. So I agree with you that we didn't really get to know her and there's more to her. And so I do wish we had seen more. Yeah, I agree with you that Cornelius has a different side of him that we have not seen, just like Naeem has a different side of him that we have not seen. And that's Cornelius just got a really good edit. And some people on the show
Yeah.
got a very bad edit.
He's an actor or model, whatever you want to call him. I think he understands that production works with what you give them.
Yep.
So he made sure to talk about abstaining,
Yep.
his mother and father, being a Christian. He made sure to talk about things to control his narrative, I feel. And I
Hmm.
think that's why some like there wasn't anything in the show about him checking Camille or him standing up for himself because I think that might have been the bittersweet about trying to control his narrative is that they ran with him as sort of being weak, I
Yeah.
feel. So I think it was easy for them to and I don't think he anticipated that. I think he wanted the good Christian guy narrative, but he didn't want the weak can't stand up for himself narrative with that. I want to touch on what Marcy said. She said it would be great if OWN would increase the budget and get Dr. Nicole on the show, correct these folks in the middle of their mistakes. And I 100% agree. I feel like they need to bring someone almost like marriage boot camp, like have the mixer, get to know, like have the brunch, have these little interactions, and then choose someone and then go through these activities to work towards like building a relationship. I think that would be dope because the way they're going is getting real ratchet.
I agree with you, except for, are you talking about Dr. Nicole? That's Dr. Ponytail, right? Dr. Nicole.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's
So that's
ponytail.
interesting. That's if she actually does talk to them and have an actual consult with them, I would agree with that. If they, even if she does a one-on-one, because the show doesn't have any type of therapist, life coach, planner, nothing. They don't have anything. They got Tommy, who is a host. That's it. They don't
Right, they
have,
throwing stuff on him,
they
and
don't,
that's not really his
that's not his forte at all. He's a
lane.
comedian. He's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian. He's an actor. Uh,
Mhm,
so, but that's not his forte. Also, next season gonna be 7 men and 7 women. A lot of people have said this as well. 10 on 10, it doesn't it doesn't bode for a man to actually court you. They don't, they when they have options, they don't need to do the courting. So I
very
actually
true.
think that, and I know that this is strange, or not strange, but thinking about it, I think less women. Like when you do 10 on 10, less women that you are actually, that these guys can actually um, want to court. Also, the age ranges. If you have women that are 45 going up against guys that are 38 that still want kids, there's no way Libba was not gonna, Libba or Sabrina, like
Mhm,
the thing is, Libba, she's you know younger, but she's had surgery. She can't have kids. Like that's just not going to happen for me, for her, is what she said.
mhm,
So you have women that are 35 against guys that are between what, 36 to 45. Um,
mhm.
so I think that as well. I think less women, and maybe not even 10 on 10, maybe, but they're actually going through um the having these dates and going and showing showing more of these dates. They showed, I guess there was a boxing date, there was a go-kart date, there were like several dates that at least 3 dates that they didn't even show.
Right.
So we really wanted to see more of the courting process that they didn't even show. So that's what I think as well. Go ahead.
Mhm.
I do think, I don't know about Dr. Nicole, but Dr. Somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody that can counsel them and give them sound advice
Right.
and not just tell them to be quiet when they're trying to work through a disagreement.
Or fix your face. Fix your face. Just so
Mm-mm.
yeah. So that's what this was sweet. I want to say, because I saw on Instagram, I saw her dress, the maker of her dress. That was actually a really pretty dress when you saw the whole thing. And I actually liked Dante's suit. This roses, this black on black on black. I don't know what, I actually liked it. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They looked sweet. Okay, I do want to talk about this though. So you saw how when things were getting out of hand, how Dante spoke, or how Dante kind of like put Aisha at ease. Same thing when I watched this back again today, how when the girls were talking to Sydney, Phil was on the first row, Sydney was on the second row, and Phil just kind of lightly grabbed her leg or grabbed her ankle and said, "Don't worry about it," or something like that. It was real smooth, but he didn't get into the women's business. He didn't shout at the women. He didn't um,
Child.
get in the middle of the ladies. And I really respect that. I really respect how they're conducting themselves. Yeah, what do you think? That's all I can think of right now. So go ahead, keep going.
I agree. I like them together. I hope they work it out and make it. They seem to like communicate with each other well, so I feel like I feel like they have a good shot, and I feel like there's no real chance for like some messiness to come on, like to happen that's been happening with these other couples. So I really liked them as a couple. I was it actually Aubrey? She did a live and she talked about Aisha's femininity and how she did a good job with showcasing her femininity. And I agree with that as well. I feel like she has a good balance of like boss chick and the feminine side. So I think she was very vulnerable on the show. She opened herself up a lot, which it can be hard because sometimes I was like, "Oh, Aisha, don't do that too soon." Because in my head, I'm like, they're gonna take advantage of her or they're gonna use that against her. But I do sometimes you just got to do what you have to do to go through the process. So I do appreciate that she was true to herself and very vulnerable and open no matter like how hard the topics were. So I love Aisha. Dante, I noticed how she was rubbing that leg, child. She been rubbing that leg a lot. So I think what they saying about Dante is true. But
Ain't mad at her. Ain't mad at her at all. I do. I really like Aisha, and she's got that. And I think he even said it. She's got that New York. She got that side of her, and I think that's the. No matter what, you're gonna be masculine. You're gonna have that. I don't want to say masculine, but you're gonna have that rough and tough. But then you also have that feminine. But I'm also a girly girl that likes to dress up. So she has that balance, and she knows that she knows how to cook, and if she don't know how to cook, she will try to, she'll figure it out. So I like the way, I really like their connection and their way they brought it. I really hope that there is lasting with them. I see it. I just see, he's got three kids, she's got two kids, and they could just really build on something together. So I thought they were really sweet. I can't think of anything negative, I just about them right now.
What about this?
Um,
What about this? What about
oh
this?
Lord. So what is so funny is this girl, y'all talk about my facial expression. She could not stop the whole show. She could not stop. When
It
Courtney
was
was talking
weird.
about when Courtney was saying something, they kept going to her face. Well, which is production, which is like, y'all stop going on. Just keep the camera on Courtney. If Courtney's talking about Cornelius, just keep the camera on him. But she just could not stop. Mm, I just
Listen,
don't believe it.
Zadia was the one
It's
that had
Zaya.
the nerve to say that Aisha was very haterish or she sounds haterish. I was like, your whole squad looks haterish. Like, why are y'all looking like I'm like, are y'all mad? Are y'all jealous? Are y'all envious? Like, why are y'all looking at Dante, especially Cornelius? Like Cornelius, you can't fight like that. Stop looking at Dante like that, like he won't get up and handle you. But it was just stank. It was like, and then, like you said, I was wondering if it was like production or editing. So was Camille fixing her dress and looking down the entire time Aisha and Dante were speaking? I don't know how much was editing or how much was really Camille. Camille seemed uncomfortable when
Definitely.
Dante and Aisha were talking, and I'm like, it seems like that would be Zadia, not Camille, because Camille didn't have no connection with Dante, or
Right.
so. Hmm.
But I think that she was probably fixing her dress and looking down a little bit. But I also think, as you just said earlier, that they know how to work. That they know that the camera's going to give you what they give, what you give them. So she knew that the camera was going to keep going to her, so she started looking down. She's like, I'm just not gonna look, I'm just gonna look over. I'm just gonna or just look down, because the camera's gonna want to keep coming to me when somebody else is talking. So I do think part of it, she was giving them facial expressions, absolutely. And part of it, she's just like, I'm not gonna keep going. But I also think, like, sometimes y'all stop with the not, I don't want to say mean girl. Yeah, the mean girl, but the cattiness. Stop it.
Yes,
This isn't.
looks very catty. You can
It's very.
feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact, like, Cornelius, why are you, like, what did any of them do to you? Like,
No,
the way he is just staring, like, he's just so uninterested, like, it's ridiculous. Naeem looking, his face all twisted up. I'm like, child, like, I agree with Sydney. Give that man a peach. Give
yeah, oh, I
him
totally
a
agree with that. I totally agree, especially going by what Walter said last night. Give this man a peach, like, and also he is taking on the role as her bodyguard or her security, and it doesn't like he doesn't look comfortable. Naeem has the whole season been this like relaxed, quiet, said nothing the whole season, and then now we hear that off camera he's gotten all of this mouth on him, and I'm like, where's all the, I'm like, you're now her security guard. You're not even like part of the what emotional connection have you guys gotten? Like maybe they are good friends and that's it. Same with Walter. I said weeks ago, Walter and Sabrina, I said they're good friends. I could tell. They're just friends. Hmm. I want to go back to
Wait a minute. I left out to. I thought I put Jasia's picture in here, but I guess I just
oh, you
realized it
didn't
must
get
not have
the
added. Huh?
you didn't
I
get the
thought I added her picture in here. I don't know where it went. But I
you,
guess we'll talk about Tasia real quick
okay.
because she had a little bit, like a little part, and I was like, okay, so was her and Corey's connection a secret? Did she not mention it on camera? Like, how did she become the third party in a love triangle? That didn't make sense to me.
So I guess so. You know how he did the little what was this? I think it was on Kojo's show that he just showed that he was doing the roses for somebody with the notes for somebody, but we didn't know who. It was for Tasia this whole time. And I guess after that,
The
remember
notes that
this,
Courtney
the,
had.
the no, the notes, the roses, he put notes on each rose. He put a little note, you are special, or whatever the note said. He then when I keep this whole time, remember I said doing something special for somebody? He did a note on each rose. He gave her what, a dozen or 2 dozen roses. He tied a little note to each rose. He did that for Tasia. He didn't do that for Courtney or Mumin. So here's the thing. After the deliberation that I said she was the wrong one to say you're not ready to love or you ready to love, remember? I guess they went out a couple of times and it was her birthday and he had done that special thing for her. So I guess they were connecting or whatever. They were
Mhm.
talking. So nobody knew about it. Nobody knew about it. And she was like, talk about it. Like, come on, what's his name? Corey. Don't just keep it under the rug. Am I a third party here? What's going on? So I guess they had started talking after that deliberation.
What I do like about Tasia is she's very no nonsense. Like she let when she said, "You're not gonna spin the block on me. You're not gonna come back around." Like I felt that, and I like totally agree with that. But I do like that about Tasia, even though I felt like her and Courtney got a little bit of a bad rap, I feel, because I feel like with Tasia, it was just she talks about her job or her entrepreneurship all the time. And like she said, I didn't talk about it all the time. Like I did talk about other stuff. So, but I
I
don't know. I don't know. It's
I agree. She is actually one of my favorites as well. I do think her man wasn't there. I think that just like with Courtney, we both said that Courtney got a bad rap. Tasia got a bad rap too. I guess her and Cornelius had talked about her education, had talked about her business, had talked about several things, but they cut all of that out and just got the sexual innuendos. So with Tasia, she
Mhm.
said the same thing. She said that no, we talked about a lot of other things, and that's why was it Walter? Because I think Walter had a date with Tasia as well, and they had gone to a barbecue restaurant, and they were like, Tasia is one of the coolest chicks. Like she talks about all kinds of stuff, but we just didn't see any of that. And I really think that she
Mhm.
got a bad rap, or just didn't they didn't show the all the layers of Tasia either. And what's interesting is on Kojo's show, they said she said something. She said they didn't show me, they didn't set up any miniature golf dates with me. They didn't set up any go-kart dates with me or any boxing dates with me. They and I was like, hmm. And and I was like, you know what? She's right though. We saw her the
We
one.
always saw her in a bar or at a restaurant. That's very true.
Yes. Yeah, they had the one-on-one with Sean, and then it was the bar date was a group date, and then the restaurant, the ex-girlfriend date was a group date. But the only one-on-one date we saw was that with Sean. I'm not even counting the "You're Not Ready to Love" because she did a "You're
Frank, Mr. Shake 'em up.
Mr. Shake." That was in a bar though. They didn't show
Mhm.
any other layers. They didn't. She said that they did not do, and I said, hmm. So, y'all, what do you think? Yeah,
That's a good point. Hmm.
being a lady of a certain
Right.
size,
So
and
is it like they didn't think she was active enough to like, because she works out. You see on her Instagram, she does, and you look at her curves, she has to work out to
yeah,
maintain like the shape that she has. So to not take her on the what was it when
next,
Carrie, Shiloh, and they went to that yoga place or whatever. So yeah, it was yeah, I agree with her on that
they did not show any other layers of her. They just what you're just gonna take me to a bar and that's it. Like,
one.
and
Hmm.
then the funny thing is, she had actually said that she said more than so at the ex girlfriend date with Phil, there was more to that. Um, but they had chopped it up. Like there was the part where she said that I don't want to discuss that with you right now. That was to another question. That wasn't to the question about, I don't remember the question now, but that wasn't to that question. So they
Right.
just mixed it with something else. So I just thought that was very interesting as well. So,
Hmm.
mhm.
What did you think about Tyrone shooting his shot at the host, child?
I thought it was funny, and I was like, one, I just didn't believe it. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, let's do a good ending. I don't know if producers told him that, but I was like, look at Tyrone coming into some person. Like, I didn't think I think he has personality, but like, I do think that all the lights and the cameras in this show, like, does something to somebody that has PTSD or has some type of, needs a little help in that order, like doesn't love crowds and stuff. So for him to do that, I was like, okay.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know if what's her name is married. So because she didn't say anything afterwards, but I thought that was I was like,
I
okay, Tyrone.
don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, good for Tyrone. Even if it was a setup and it wasn't really anything to it, which is what I thought. I was like, that's cute. That's a cute ending. Because I that right after that,
Mhm.
she was like, let's okay, they're about to end the show. So I thought it was
I
cute.
agree.
Hmm.
Should we get into the drama of the after reunion? I call it the
Okay.
after party
So did you
because this
see the
is
whole
the
show? Did you see this whole thing,
I
or
saw the whole thing.
I did not see the whole thing? So go ahead. What did you think? I know what you're. Go ahead.
I think the girl was lying. The
Thank
girl in the bottom corner, I don't even remember her name, child, because it wasn't even important to me after I watched the live. I felt like there were a lot of loopholes, a lot of things that were contradicting. At the end, I just felt like she was lying, and I felt like her motives were in the wrong place. Because it was like, first of all, for her to come First of all, she said that her and Courtney were friends. So how was Courtney just finding out on this live that you were in New York with Cornelius in November? So that didn't make sense. And then she said like, "Oh, we go to church together, but we didn't meet at church." So where did you meet? What are you talking about? Then for her to insinuate that something happened in the hotel room when they spent 3 nights together, she kind of made a statement. I think she said something like, "Oh, things went down." And then 5 minutes later, "Oh, he was trying to have sex with me, but I turned him down. I said no." So I was like, "Why didn't you say that from the beginning? And why did you make statements like, 'Oh, no, no, he's having sex. No, he is down. He is not abstaining.'" Like, why did you make statements like that just for you to say that nothing actually happened?
Right.
And Simone had great questions. Because Simone was putting two and two together, and she was saying, "Well, why were y'all in New York? Why was Corey there? Wait, what was like, was Cornelius just like there so you can get him into the Soul Train Awards? What was the reason? Like, what reason would Corey have to be there? Because you're trying to paint it like you and Cornelius went to New York as lovers or something." So Simone had the questions down packed. But for her, every question Simone asks, the girl throws her phone in the camera. See, this is us. This is us in New York. See, this is a picture that Corey took of us. I'm like, girl, answer the question.
Right.
What was the point of y'all going to this award show together?
And when
So
that's exactly when I heard that Corey was there, I was like, "Oh, so this was a campaign, or this was a like a what do you call it event?" I said, "Oh, please, that just ask Corey and whatever y'all say, why was he there? If she was trying to get some and he is on this abstinence train, why was Corey there? Why wouldn't he keep it to himself, or why wouldn't he, keep his business? He's supposed to be this church boy. He's trying to build that persona." I was like, what? So, and honestly, I feel like I had gotten out of it and went back in it because I said, Courtney looks like she is totally bewildered. She's like, she's
yes.
shocked. Courtney was like, I was like, Courtney is shocked right now. She doesn't know. It seemed like Courtney didn't know who you were. And yeah, and yeah, and I said, okay, Simone's here. Simone's like starting to ask questions. So I did not hear the whole thing, but I was like, this girl, she's trying to, and yeah, mm-mm,
So
mm.
then I saw the next live,
Yes,
which
go
was
to this one.
Camille
And
and Denise.
first of all, Miss Denise in the in the feather bra.
I'm like, girl, where's your
What is
how you get
good
on the
morning?
live like that? You can throw on a tank top real quick. You know you had a tank top in your drawer.
You got merch, just throw on a t-shirt. And all we see is the burgundy. The lipstick is cute, but can you put on a do I really need to see your feather bra? But go ahead. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Right. But Camille says, "I knew about the whole trip. I was talking to Cornelius the whole time,"
Mm-hmm.
which it's the one thing that was consistent in my opinion. The girl said that Cornelius was saying, well, it kind of did make sense but didn't. Cornelius told the girl that it was a fake relationship between him and Camille. They were just on the show, but he needed time to end this relationship. So I was like, why does he need time to end a fake relationship if it's fake? So
Because
she was saying she
Camille,
just, uh-huh.
because Camille, it's fake to him, y'all. It's not fake.
But he was making, like, I felt it was kind of weird. Like, I felt like he was trying to make her think that it was just a show. That's the way the girl was presenting it at one point, and then she was kind of saying she's confused. And she made a comment about going to the same church as Cornelius, and then Camille says, well, she's stalking Cornelius. She ended up joining his church. So it seems like, and the girl was making painting it like she went to the church and then met Cornelius, and
Yeah.
then Cornelius introduced her to the ex. So then I was like, but so
So
then,
wait a
but
minute.
Camille says that the girl was a PR girl. The girl was just there to get Cornelius into this award show. So the girl had connections. It's like, okay, but again, why were they in New York for 3 days for one award show? But okay, I don't know. So part of me feels like I don't want to say every single thing that the other girl was saying was a lie, but I feel like she definitely had a motive for getting on the live and putting all this out there and for insinuating that sex happened when it didn't. But Camille said she knew about it. The girl was just a PR girl. And I was like, that seems very convenient on Cornelius's end to tell Camille that. But I don't know. I don't know, child.
So it doesn't surprise me to go out of town for 3 days for one award show. That happened. That doesn't surprise me. But the other part, it does seem suspicious to me that uh she's a PR girl, and he's telling Camille everything. He's there with Corey, excuse me, and they're going to this event. So
Mhm.
he's telling her everything. I think that this girl, what my question was, you just said something. So the girl, she gave the impression that she was she had already joined the church, that she was already part of the church. And then she kind
Right.
of backtracked and said, "Oh no, I was stalking him. I purposely found
Camille
out what
said
church he
that she
goes to."
was stalking her. But that's what
Okay.
doesn't make sense. She says they met outside of church, but she's saying they go to the same church. So my whole thing, if you were already going to the same church, you would have already ran into the man. You would have
Yeah.
already knew him. So she made it that whole thing blew me. So that makes me think that Camille is telling the truth about her joining the church, kind of chasing after Cornelius type of thing.
Right. So Harlem, I agree, Harlem. She said she did not know about the
Right.
show, but she knows Courtney and Corey. She knew who Simone was. She had me confused. So she didn't know about the show, but did she know Courtney from like work? Because I know Courtney does like she kind of does the same thing that Sydney does in the nightlife or whatever, and then or maybe from the same gym? Like, did she say? Did she say?
What confused, I don't remember how she's made it seem like she knew Corey for a long time. But then she kept saying, like Harlem is saying, if you're saying you're friends with Courtney and Corey and you know Simone, why are you getting on the live saying, is Camilla a character? Is she just a character? Is she just an actress? Like, you know what the whole show is about. You
Right.
know what the whole setup is about. And you just said, she went on there and said that her, the girl and Cornelius were watching Courtney's interview on Little Black Book, and Cornelius got angry when Courtney was sending the photos of
Mm-hmm.
them to Little
Mm-hmm.
Black Book. So I'm like, if you got to that point and
Then you
you
know.
know what it is. You don't,
Right.
so
Right.
that was what was blowing me too. Why are you trying to act like you don't know what the show is, or is Camille a character? Is she just a character? Like, what is she? What it, girl? You know?
You know.
Yes.
Oh, she's just yeah. She's just trying to get like she's just trying to be on social media. Okay. So yeah, the whole thing sounded like a lie.
I'm like, Cho, is this the way you want to come into the world? Because she might be a PR person, but if you come up with all this drama, who is gonna want to work with you?
Right. Is she a PR person that works with OWN that's trying to dispel some things? Like what's happening?
I don't know, child. I don't know.
Interesting. 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 Mm, okay. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
a mess. It was a mess. So I don't then there's because I did a post yesterday about this, and people said Cornelius is an opportunist. They felt like maybe he was using that girl to get into the award show, to get around people that were in acting and modeling. And I'm like, maybe there is that side to it. Maybe he was flirtatious. Maybe that did happen, but when you start trying to expose him and his celibacy, and you start trying to make claims that him and Camille already had sex and things of that sort, that's when it's a little
That's when it
weird.
gets convoluted. And I agree with you actually. If he was using it, that happens all the time. People like
Mhm.
award shows in LA, like people would use people to get in to award shows. If that's all you were trying to do, then that's all you were trying to do. But then to say, "Oh no, he was in my hotel room and we had sex," or "Oh no, he's not abstaining." Come on. You don't have to go that far if that's not the truth. So, yeah. Yeah, your sound faded, but you came back. I was like this, but it came back, so I didn't have to, so you didn't have to come back out, go back out and come back in. Excuse me for entering late, but where was Frank the other night? He was on part one, but not part two of the reunion. I think he was here. They just didn't talk to him. Wasn't he in the colorful jacket?
He
Isn't
was wearing all pink in them cowboy boots. Maybe he had to go open the club. I
that's
don't know. Maybe opening
right?
shift.
He was wearing the salmon suit
Let me stop, child.
and the cowboy boots with the white gym socks. He was.
He might have just had to leave. Child, I would have made up some excuse like, my
Mhm,
stomach hurt.
mhm.
I gotta go.
Honestly, and apparently it was, and we see a little snippets, but I think that that's, and Tasia, when she was on LBB show, she was like, this was a long day. And I do have a family member that's sick, and it was a lot. And all of these people were just back and forth, all of this catty behavior, and so she just got frustrated. And Frank was just probably like you said, he was like, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. Yeah, you're right.
I wanna go back to this to see an interview with Little Black Book, because she did mention, because people were saying you just wanted attention. Why didn't you just stay with your family members? She mentioned that there is a contract in place, so that she kind of did have to show up. So that brings me back to Kamisha Reviews. She did a live. She basically stated Shiloh was not at the reunion because she is trying to sue OWN for the whole I don't want to know if you want to call it altercation, incident, but she was in the middle of suing OWN, and OWN basically told her not to show up, which is what a lot of people were saying, that Shiloh was told to stay home. So it does make sense that that's the reason why they told her not to come. But
We were talking about them cowboy boots. I said, "Do you see the cowboy boots and the white socks?" I saw that last week. Yes, Miss Creative. Go ahead.
hmm them things was tight. I was like, you couldn't go a size up. They was squeezing on him. Let me shut up. Anyway,
What were you gonna say?
but I thought that was interesting, because I was like, suing for what? I don't know. We'll see.
But what
But
were
that's
you?
the
What were
word
you
on
going
the
to
street.
say about the own? I thought you said, but
Hmm?
I thought you
I
said,
don't
but.
remember.
Oh, okay. So I think that's the only reason that I can think of that she did why she didn't show up, because she's not in it. All been doing lives.
Hmm.
And no, and she's not in any of the rap party they had at Liva's house. She wasn't there either. So I definitely think they're trying to do more with that, or she's trying to do more with that. Um, but I agree with you for what though, and I'm gonna fall on my sword a little bit on this, because hearing Walter's um take on it and somebody else's take on it. It does sound like, oh no, it was Sydney's take on it and Walter's. It does sound like he was trying to get her in the car for a long time. It was, and I don't know about it was 2 hours. I don't know about Frank. I think he's
Yeah.
anyway. But I definitely think, and Walter said that he actually said he saw two guys down the alley. He actually saw some people down the alley, and he was trying to get her back. So it does sound like he didn't just pick her up out of nowhere. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but also, if it is in the contract, and they have said that we are not supposed to be seeing each other outside of the show, but we do anyway, and it was Courtney's birthday. Um, I do understand what you're saying. Sue them for what? Because you weren't on camera. So I don't know. And I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know,
Mm-hmm. I
but
know. I think people. I don't know if people are assuming it's about the Phil thing, or I don't know. I don't even know exactly. These are all just allegations,
right.
but we don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not to have off-camera dates, and technically it wasn't a date. It was Courtney's birthday, so they all were meeting at this club. So, but
Mm,
I hear what everybody's saying that, and I agree. On LBB and I guess it was, yeah, Sydney and Walter. They were like, he was damned if he did, and he was damned if he didn't. This was an
right.
impossible situation. He needed to do something. It was like, save my life, save your life, and have you hate me, or you wind up dead because there's two guys down in the alley that I kind of see. And you could even, it could not be two guys, but it could be a shadow of something. So I hear what you guys are saying, that, and also, and again, we only get what they give us on camera, but a lot of people are saying that she is very sensitive, or very, I don't want emotional or sensitive, whatever. Those are very hot button words. Emotional is hot button words, but it does sound like something Walter said, and maybe I want to talk about this on my show, is that um he took up boxing to make himself better, and he said that some people do that. They get good at something to make themselves better. And he talked about her being an intimacy coach, and he said that maybe whatever happened in her previous life is, y'all in the chat know, things have happened to me in my previous, childhood or whatever. She became an intimacy coach to help herself. And I was like, that's interesting. That's something. And I was like, huh. And then she talked about triggers, and you don't know what triggers I've had in the past or whatever. So I thought that was interesting. And I think, one, as I said about Courtney earlier, doesn't have what with Courtney and Corey. That has nothing to do with Phil. Whatever triggers you had, that really, all he was just trying to get you out of get you out of that safety. So I hear what y'all are saying. After hearing, I'm not gonna say he was totally right. I definitely still think that they both had a part to play in it, but I do think that there's some overreaction on her part, and that she really needs to take accountability as to herself in that situation. That there's a lot of accountability that she needs to take in that situation.
I want to touch on the fact that all these interviews, a lot of these cast members
Yes.
are bringing up Shiloh's lies, are bringing up that, like, um, Shiloh stopped Phil from making a connection with Sabrina. Walter said Shiloh went to Sabrina and made it seem like they had this connection, and
No,
so it seemed
no, I will
what,
agree. That's not because I was in there for 4 hours. He, they did have a friendship, but
right,
they did have a friendship, but Shiloh and Walter had a conversation. He said there was this big rumor that they had slept together, and they hadn't. I don't think Shiloh was the one that started the rumor. He said that they had a friendship. Yes. Walter definitely said, I can always talk to Shiloh about anything, right? why would she start a rumor that they had slept together? But I don't think that she slept together. I think it's this one that started the rumor. I think it was one. Go go back on your slide. Go back to the one in the shiny pink dress. I think she started the rumor, but that's my opinion.
Ooh,
You know who I'm talking about. That one.
shiny pink
That
dress
one in
in
the
here.
that's the one I think started the rumor. But whatever. That's
But
my
I
opinion.
did hear that narrative from multiple cast members
I do,
about Shiloh.
but I do agree with you on this part. She said, if anybody asks you, say you don't know. And then when they ask, when she tells them what happened with Phil, she said Walter was the first time when I called. Why'd you do that? I was like, why did you tell the man say I don't know, and then say I told Walter he was the
Right.
first person? And I was like, why? If you're so upset about it and you're such in an emotional state about what happened with Phil, then just don't what you could have just told what happened and left who you told out of it. You could have left his name Walter's name out of it. I agree with you on that. I don't think I think that somebody else that I think that there was a lot of catty behavior with the BGS crew.
Okay.
So, but I do hear what you're saying about but also remember Sabrina said that they were in the corner at the stairs at the retreat trying to convince her and Mumin, yelling at her and Mumin to get Walter out. I agree with that too. I think that there was a lot of this it was supposed to start out as something favorable and BGS stand up, and y'all turned it into something else. Yes.
Listen,
Girl.
I was listening to Walter talk. I was like, they sure did edit this man because I he barely said two words that whole season and reunion. So I was like, Walter got this much to say, and y'all didn't show him
Girl. Y'all.
talking.
Miss, I was just like, delete. Just I was just. It was just a lot. It was a lot. But the weird thing is, and it's so interesting. In the beginning of the interview, I like when we get to know them. You know what I mean? Him being raised in
Mhm.
California, and having people in gangs and stuff like that, and people in the chat was like, "Oh, well, he's on the." And I said, "No, I think this is definitely his experience being from California and people like being, in the gangs or the gang members saying, no, you're not riding with us. That's definitely happened. so I, and, so all of that, I believe that he came from a different time. And so I believe, and let's talk about him saying that him talking to Sabrina about being a stripper, and he said he had no problem with that, but the 10 years is what he had the issue with. And I was like, wait a minute though. And I hear what you're saying about the 10 years and that changes what you think about men, because I've heard this. A lot of strippers don't like men or have an issue with men or hate men because all they see is these men, you know, trying
Mhm.
to get at them.
I
They
see
don't
that.
have that emotional connection. I didn't see that with Sabrina because she was doing a lot of other stuff while she was stripping. But I
Well, that's another thing I didn't like. Well, I won't say I didn't like. I wish they would have talked about that. Like in the Little Black Book interview, she talked about how she had a 9 to 5. She was stripping at night. So I think that's a tad bit different. They just made it seem like she was just on the pole for 10 years straight, nothing else going for herself. So she seemed like she was very ambitious. She had a
absolutely,
goal, she had a plan, a strategy. So I didn't like that. I don't know if I don't want to
and
say it was Sabrina or production. I don't know what it was, but I feel like mention that she had a nine
I
to
agree
five
with that.
too, please.
I
Like,
agree with that because I was like, well, wait a minute. If she was doing all this other stuff, real estate and banking, accounting, and all this other stuff,
accounting, uh-huh.
did did they just leave that out of the conversation at the dinner? Like when they were having that all black dinner, those things. I
Mhm.
was like, I know that she said all of that. She didn't just say, "Oh no, I was a stripper for 10 years." No, I don't see that she. she's very talkative, like, or she's very explanatory. She's going to explain. So I just don't say, oh no, I was on the pole for 10 years and stuff like that. No, I'm sure that there was more to that conversation.
At the same time, Walter, were you doing these sex comedy shows for 10 years?
There
Is
you
that
go.
not a red flag?
I
You
actually think
on
it's
the
15.
paint,
Oh,
you
wait.
on the stage, you got I don't want to call them strippers. I don't know what they were. They walking around on the stage with their booty out in lingerie. You got people giving massages on the side of the stage. I'm like, what in the freaky deaky is going on here? And you up there, you talking about sex and all this stuff. So I'm like, how is that not a red flag?
I
So
shout out to Ravine. Hold on, I got something to
yes,
share.
she
Uh,
DM'd me too.
oh, did she? Okay, I got it up. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Don't get us flagged, girl.
Right.
But go
I
ahead.
can do only
I
play
don't know
like
what
30
you're.
seconds, right? I can do
Okay.
30 seconds.
I'm
Oh,
sure you can play it. I'm just talking about the nudity.
oh no, 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 not that. Well, no,
Okay.
there's like a Doritos commercial, so I'm like not gonna do. What do y'all want to see? What do y'all want to see? Do you want to see? There is. What do y'all want to see? Because I think that there is a part. Oh, I did see this. No, because that. Yeah, I'm not gonna show that part. That one, there was some nudity in that one. I'm not gonna do that one. Let's just do the Doritos commercial because I think that's funny. Ah, hold on, y'all. Sorry.
Um, can you do it?
Yeah, let me
Let me
try it. Let me
stop.
try it. Let me try it. Beautiful night. Did you bring that? Yeah, the Doritos. Yeah, I thought it was a bad day. Your face is frozen. You didn't see that one?
No. What the heck is what? What in the freaky deaky
Yeah.
is child? Oh my goodness.
Yes, before yeah. Yes, that was the Doritos, but I think there's more than just that one. But I was like,
No,
oh
there's a lot of comedy shows where he's talking about explicit stuff. So
yes, I did see those too. I'm not gonna do those, but yeah, there's some other stuff too that Ravine, and then I just looked up and I was like, what is this? It was like a couple of seconds. I was like, oh no, because I couldn't really hear. All I saw was women. I saw women and a guy and him with the microphone, and I was like, yeah, mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah.
yeah.
And this is real dead money scene. Yeah, he's got a whole reel on here about being the good brother. So yes, that whole thing with uh there were so many. We're back on Walter though. I really wanted to get back on Walter. I don't think that he was ready. I don't think that he was ready. He said everyone he dates expects sex. I don't remember that, but I'm not surprised.
He getting up there though. I'm like, at what point do you hang that up? What point do you like? I don't know. And it's like, and it's like, is that why he's into younger girls as well? You trying to make it all about reproduction and stuff, but obviously you like a certain thing. So
It was 4 hours and 47 minutes. I just didn't think anybody would ever beat Corey. I just didn't think anybody would ever beat Corey. But yeah,
That's crazy. I got too much to do to be sitting
yeah,
there for. But yeah, that's all I got for
yeah.
today.
We didn't. Yeah, like I loved. I really love to see it. Love me some Sabrina. I'm telling y'all, I'm on this Weight Watcher, so I'm about to buy a couple of dresses from Miss Sabrina. You know, after I get some things. Yeah, we need to do that. Um, I don't know. So we'll be. Next week is Potomac. Next week is Potomac, the 28th, right? The 28th.
It's Friday.
Not Denzel and Glory. Denzel is a better actor, Sean. Now, seriously.
He had a face full of tears. I don't know
Mhm.
if that he had Denzel beat. He was doing them Zach tears from Married at First Sight.
I only lost 5 pounds. I've only lost 5 pounds, and then I had the production, and then I fell off a little bit, but I'm back on it now. Because yeah, so and during production, I ordered like a wheat wrap instead of Subway sandwiches. So yeah, but I've lost 5. So yeah, we back up. So next week is Potomac, and Misha, we're here for Potomac, right? I'm actually
Yep,
interested. I'm down. I'm definitely. I'm actually really. What's interesting? Because Misha and I were like, we're watching Mavs, but we're not reviewing it. Are you reviewing it, Misha? Mm-mm.
I'm not. I'm good.
I'm not either. I'm not. I go on Maria's channel and review it, but I said, what is it that I'm not ready to give up on this? I'm ready to love, but Mavs, I just can't do it, and it's because I feel like these people are just dating. Like this, after they go off the show, they're like, listen, I want to date you off the show. I'm glad to meet you. Let's see how things go. But these other people are literally signing documents to say that they're going to be married. And they're not really ready to be married. And so I feel like maybe that's what it is. It's just like, I just, I can't get invested. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
I think it's that covenant of marriage is important, but you out here still dating other people. You out here um, saying one thing and doing another. The people that they're putting together are just out here just swinging like this couple. What's his name? Olajuwon and Katina. They like the nightlife, as Frank likes to say, the night part of the nightlife, or Sydney likes to say part of the nightlife. And I was like, what,
Mhm.
y'all ready? Y'all, what's going on? So I feel like, but then you sign a paper that says that you're not going to be that person anymore. That takes more than just 2 weeks. Now you're ready. So it's interesting.
For
Mm,
me, I think marriage is a serious and sacred thing, and I don't like how they're playing with people as far
right.
as the girl says she wants somebody with nice teeth, and you give her somebody with jagged edge, orange teeth. It's not right. Like
Mhm.
you're putting people together to fail on purpose. So that's kind of my irritation with it. It's like, how many times are y'all gonna do this? Because
No, I agree. Production that I don't. Yeah, she says that she wants nice teeth, but then you give her somebody like this, but then she says she's such a nice person and she's a dog lover and she rescues dogs, but then like, but she's not that polite. Like it's this at the same time. Why would you connect her with? I was like, if this girl's looking for Justin Timberlake, he's not that. It's not him.
right.
It's not him. And but production or this show, you connected her with, and he's a real estate agent. And she's like, he looks like a real estate agent. It's just, he is. That's what he does. He's a real estate agent.
Mhm.
They connected you with a real estate agent. You didn't want that. You wanted Justin Timberlake. You didn't get that. You're not going to get that. So I just feel like they're just, yeah. And yeah, we're watching the show, but I think, yeah, this just on Ready to Love, they're ready to date. Or, but this is not like marriage is a serious thing. I think that these people be playing, but I also think production just to be connecting them with whoever. I think it's both.
Mm.
I think that the people that sign up for this show need a lot of work, but I also think this show is just about the drama.
True.
I think it's both. I think it's both. So we're watching it, but I just mm-mm. So yeah, but yeah,
All right, y'all. But thank y'all
catch us
for
next week
tuning
for
in.
yeah, catch us next week for Potomac though. Catch us next week for Potomac, and I'm getting everybody together now that and Misha's back, and I'm gonna be doing the ladies panel, and I think I'm gonna be bringing back the men's panel too, because these guys, I've had like three men ask me, when are you bringing back the men's panel? So I said, oh, y'all want to see that again? Okay, interesting. Mm, mm.
You
Let me
gotta push
know. Yeah.
what people want.
And I think after Ready to Love, then they come up with topics. So if you guys have any topics for me to talk to the men about, definitely definitely let me know. That's my email down at the bottom. Cause yeah. So especially after Walter's interview, I was like, what? So y'all, thank you guys so much. Go ahead. Oh, did you see that? Did you see Elijah?
Yes. Girl, I was watching. I said, "What is that?" And
I
I
did.
was staring like, I know I didn't see what I think I just saw. And child, everybody saw it.
I said that too. I said, what is down his drawers? I said, you knew you were gonna be filmed. You couldn't go get new drawers. You couldn't go get new underwear. You couldn't go get
Maybe
new.
you should do a panel on that because I think men think it's okay to have stains on their drawers. I don't know why they think it's okay not to wipe good. But because it with women is you would not give a woman that same grace. So maybe
No,
we should do.
they wouldn't. They would not give women that same grace if anything was torn or anything was just whatever.
Right. You need to do a do you have stains on your drawers panel
And you
because
knew you were going
I
to be
feel
filmed
like
though too. Like he could have even just gone down the street to Walmart. He didn't have to go and get no silky
it's
stuff.
your
Like
wedding day. Your
yes,
wedding day. And I feel like that's kind of the unfair thing about women versus men. Shoot, I already got my lingerie picked out for my wedding night. No, yes, I'm single. No, I don't have nobody in prospect, but
I
like
do too.
I I just yeah.
I just don't understand like why he thought that that was a good idea. Like he didn't see it. Like even if and so here's the thing: it's
Men
your wedding
don't
day, right?
care. They
You
don't
know he
care,
didn't
but
care.
they want
And
to put the expectation on women to, oh, you gotta smell like water. You gotta thongs only, no granny panties, no.
right.
But you sitting
And
there,
he did that, and I said, "This is that to me. That's so unacceptable because even if he didn't have time, you got brides, you got not bridesmaids, you got groomsmen, you got people that could go out and get you something. You didn't have to make them silk nothing. You could have done something. This your wedding day. Look good. Break some new stuff. Take some tags off of some stuff and break some new stuff. For you not to do that." I'm sorry, that's not that is unacceptable. Even if it wasn't like the highest, money stuff, you could have gotten some new stuff clean, you know, fresh and clean. And the fact that he
it's
did
not right.
it was
It's
not
just not right because I hate that that expectation is on
right.
women. It's your wedding night. You better pull out the lingerie. You better pull out this and that, and you gonna come and plop yourself on the bed with stains on your drawers. It's
And he
just
did a
like
full jump. Like he was excited. This man was excited. Why?
that's what I'm saying. Like men don't care. It's like I don't know if they don't see themselves, but I just don't think it's fair. Like, woman, you better be waxed, you better have on a thong, you better have this, you better have the full lingerie set, and then you just gonna plop on there like everything is good. And those were worn draws. Those
No,
were
that's what I'm
worn.
saying. They
Those
were
look like
worn.
they
She's
were
got,
faded.
they were
He
faded.
had
They
those
weren't
since high
new.
school or something.
Since high school. Damn. But my no, I agree with you though. That's what I'm saying. He could have went and got some new, break the tags off of some stuff. I would have, and we as women would have. And I remember on the men's panel, Sean said he had a Victoria's Secret card for his wife. He actually had a credit card at
Men, I
Victoria's
see
Secret.
the men in there. I
Yes,
see that. And I was like, are they buying it for themselves? I don't know if they was cross-dressed. I said, let me mind my business. But I think they
no.
do that.
They go the extra
That's
effort for
different.
their wife. So men, are you not doing that? That's actually a good topic. But like Kia would say, write that down. But no, but y'all, you know what? Send me your ideas because any topics not having to do with relationships, I'm down for it. For men, for the ladies and the men. But just the fact that he did that, they were worn, they were faded, and they were stained. It makes no sense. I was like, you could have gone down to Target and picked something up, even if you got something new. You're going on our honeymoon. Get a pack of two, and you're going to buy something else when you get. You'll have a chance. You're going to be having a chance to pack. Like I just didn't understand. There's no, I can sit here, y'all know I try to understand. No, but that I'm not going to try and understand that. There's no excuse. It just makes no sense. And like Misha just said, it's the double standard. It's a double standard because we as women know it should be thong. You don't want it to be hipster pant. You want a specific type. You want your woman to look like this, but then you're going to do that.
And men don't have lingerie. So the least you can do is get a clean pair of drawers, like the least. So yeah, I'm not. Mm-mm.
They had probably been through a few drunk nights. No, it's I just but this is your wedding night. Get something brand
Exactly.
new. Get
It's nasty.
it's just nasty. But then then he sat there and talked to his boys like, oh well, if my wife wants me to do whatever, I'm gonna be down. I'm not gonna disappoint. Why would I want you to touch me after seeing that? Like what?
Mm-mm.
Oh, High Vibes just gave us some tea that or some interesting. I didn't know that. Did I know that? I don't think I knew that. Victoria's
I
Secret was
didn't.
originally a lingerie catalog for men to purchase for their wives or mistresses. So it was originally, oh yeah,
I don't know. I That's interesting.
that is
But
interesting.
here my issue is that men are not attentive. They don't pay attention to details as far as something like that. So I just feel like they won't get you the wrong cup size. They'll get you the wrong underwear
True.
size.
True, but at least yeah, okay, just give me the receipt. I'll take it back and yeah, yeah, and I'll get the right size. But they're like
Mhm.
doing those things. Yeah. But it does show what he feels about himself and how he feels about her. I totally agree with that. He wants her to cook him all kinds of meals, but then he's not going to put on any clean drawers. I'm just like the whole girl, don't get me started.
Facts.
Listen, yeah, all right, y'all. Victoria's Secret. Okay, Sean. Victoria's Secret is that Victor is a man. He was supposed to be shopping for a woman from a man's perspective. Hmm,
Oh, that's what like men want to see women in type of thing.
okay, okay,
Interesting.
interesting. Y'all, thank you guys so much. What you got next, Misha? Oh,
I'm sticking with Ready to Love. I'm gonna ride this wave while I can. And yeah.
yes. Make sure and buy Queen
Oh,
of Life
thank you.
Cosmetics. Your girl, now that I got the table down, that everything's right here. I got a book here and I got my palette here. So all I have to do is read
Yes.
behind me. Yes. Thank
I
you.
got Kia's book right here.
So good, yes. And I don't know. I told some of you that I just saw the edit for the short that I filmed in October, and we have some ADR. We have some last minute editing on that. So we're hopefully hoping for a February 14th drop on that one, and then the one from last Saturday is going into edit probably in the next 2 weeks. So thank you guys so much. Please go to Crystal and Net on YouTube and please subscribe. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, we're gonna ride this Ready to Love wave out until we get sick of them too. But right now, we're good. Right now, we're good. All right, thank y'all.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Have a
Have
good night or
a good night.
Sunday.
Yes, Sunday.